style. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready?
This Boston crowd ready to roar in this Eastern Conference matchup for the Celtics. And they're starting off the season playing the 76ers here. Last season they won all 4 games, showing complete dominance.
And in their season series against this squad last year, very lopsided in their favor.
Yeah, they swept them and basically told them in how they played, you're not on our level yet. And they look to continue that dominance tonight.
Look at the 76ers starting group. Reggie Jackson out there with Oladipo. Then it's Wiggins. Then it's Young. And it's Howard in at the center, locking down the middle. And Boston has possession. Thomas kicks to Johnson. Sullinger the screen. Back to Thomas from downtown. That one's no good. 0 of 1 to begin the game. And Victor Oladipo, after a solid rookie campaign, really took it up a notch last season, even after missing Clark the first 9 games with that facial fracture.
I love this kid's gravitas. I mean, he's got a presence about him. His percentages improved across the board, field goal, 3-point free throws. But I like his work ethic and his confidence.
The Celtics shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And talking about Victor Oladipo's improvement, a lot of it has to do with his work ethic. Also his pregame film studies, something his college coach absolutely raved about. And all of that showed up for him big time last season.
Jackson against Thomas. In the corner, Crowder with it. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Crowder's got 7 points.
And you know, back to Oladipo, we always talk about 5-star phenoms coming out of high school. He was just a 3-star guy. He's had to work for everything he's gotten, and I think that served him well. He's got a hunger and drive that you can't manufacture.
Thomas against Jackson. Sullinger a screen on Jackson. Thomas, no luck. 76ers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Wiggins passes to Young. Crowder with the steal. It's off his foot, and it's being called a kick ball. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. The Celtics working the ball around now. Johnson the screen. Clock at 6. Johnson sets the screen for Thomas. Johnson with it, and Young picks him up defensively. Bradley can't get it to go. Boston on D. It's a 3-point game. Wiggins, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, guys, in the NBA, you learn things by doing them in game-time action. And Andrew Wiggins had plenty of time to learn on the job. He was second in the league in minutes played last season, only behind James Harden.
Looking over the numbers again, Greg, Wiggins logged a ton of minutes as a rookie, over 36 minutes a game, Clark. That led all rookies in the NBA.
And how about leading everybody in the league in minutes played after the All-Star break, Kevin? Almost 40 minutes a game is what he averaged after the All-Star break.
Here's Wiggins following the score by Avery Bradley. And here is Thomas. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
I was able to talk with Brad Stevens for a minute. He said their scouting report is really all about how to handle Dwight Howard. Obviously a tremendously impactful player at both ends of the court. Coach said, offensively, we always need to know where he is. Defensively, it's always about doing your work early, trying to hold your ground and deny him prime position inside. Sounds like a good plan, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
That gives them the lead. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Thomas dishes to Sullinger. The shot is off. And Philadelphia the other way now. Wiggins drives in. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
And he gets one to fall, and now 1 out of his first 4.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Johnson with a screen on Wiggins. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And the idea of setting a screen on that play was right, but just poor execution.
Yeah, it just can't be a hard screen at all costs. There is a legality to how you set a screen, so you got to be inside of both lines, legal and hard.
Boston making a switch here. Turner's checked in. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Pulls up. And Jackson with the basket on the assist from Thaddeus Young. 6 points for Reggie Jackson.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
Thomas gets the bucket.
It took him a while, but he finally gets one to fall.
For Philadelphia, they've gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. And it's slammed in by Howard.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Celtics trail by 3. Thomas with the ball. Lets it fly from 18. Sullinger, no good.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Philadelphia started to create a little bit of an identity last season. After all their transactions, Clark, and shifting around, they settled down and came together.
Yeah, and I tell you, it looks like the identity will be the Sixers being a defensive team going forward. Offense has its fits and starts, but defensively they found some traction.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
As you said, the 76ers will be a team built on defense going forward. At least that's what it seems like to me. They have very active hands and can bother a lot of shots. They also force a ton of turnovers as well.
Kelly Olynyk checked in for Boston. And the 76ers also making a change. Okafor's checked in.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
On the wing, Wiggins. No good. And it's Boston the other way.
You know, guys, the Sixers did force a lot of turnovers, but they also gave the ball away the most in the NBA, so kind of negated the turnovers they forced. They can be as defensive as they want, but they've got to get better at taking care of the ball if they're going to improve.
And he gets it to go. Olynyk's got 5 points so far.
Well, I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
And Thomas, here we go. And he misses the go-ahead basket.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
And Oladipo kicks to Howard. Good.
Your heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Celtics trail by 3. Now, here's Thomas. There's the 3. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Philadelphia's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Wiggins passes to Okafor. 16 feet away. Cannot hit. Excellent D from Thomas.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going. Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists. Well, it didn't take long for us to see just how explosive Andrew Wiggins can be in the air. I mean, had a handful of huge dunks throughout the course of the season. He's going to make a lot of posters during his NBA career.
Here's Jackson. He's got 6. Oladipo dishes to Okafor. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Turner with the steal. Pushing it up. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Dishes it to Jackson. Turner with the steal. And Smart with a clear path to the hoop.
Well, let's take a look at where Philadelphia ended up rank-wise in the league last year. First in steals, fourth in blocks. And they were one of the top 10 teams in the league at scoring points off turnover. I'd call them a very opportunistic team.
And I really feel like they fed off their pressure defense. You mentioned all the steals. That got them out in the open court and created easy opportunities offensively.
Now here's Jackson. Pass to Okafor. Outside for Jackson. Puts it up. And Boston with the rebound.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Oladipo against Turner. Lets it go from 14. Nice jump shot. Good. Turner's got his second basket. The 76ers trail by 3. Howard kicks to Oladipo. Rebounded by Smart. Boston's gone 3 of 5 from three-point land so far in the ballgame. And the shot's good from Crowder.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Jackson kicks to Howard. And it comes off the front of the rim.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Turner passes to Zeller. And the shot's good from Crowder. Crowder's got 11.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, Clark, quality looks at the rim. That's fueling this run.
55 seconds left in the first quarter. Banked in off the glass. And it's a 9-point Celtic lead.
He's got the firepower, feeling the rhythm here, going 5 for 5 so far.
He's got it flowing right now.
Wiggins dishes to Jackson. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And that's now 8 points for Reggie Jackson. And here's Boston. They're on a 20-7 run. Smart kicks to Crowder. 6 for 6. He's yet to miss from the field.
And his stroke has been dead on from the outside. I mean, inside, outside. It just doesn't matter.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Oladipo, good.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Celtics leading by 7. Here's Turner. Pass to Olynyk. And Okafor with the block. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Celtics lead by 7. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. And Celtics head coach Brad Stevens lured away.
The only hard part of
I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks lost in his stockpile.
Well, I don't know how he would address that question, but I do know he's feeling real good about his decision. I mean, taking the Celtics to the playoffs in just his second season, I mean, I think he's one of the bright coaching stars in the NBA today. It was the NBA's game and college basketball's loss when he moved on to the Celtics.
Well said. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for Boston.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court right now for the Celtics. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jared Sullinger is out there with Amir Johnson. And it's Turner in at the small forward position.
You know, one of the things, guys, that impressed me about the Celtics was the number of assists they had. I mean, they really focused on moving the ball. And when you do that and you have shot makers, the assists pile up.
Bradley passes to Sullinger. Wide open, couldn't capitalize.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And taken away by Johnson. Now Thomas. He has 5. Bradley, no one around him. Rebounded by Jackson. Jackson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. With the Celtics and their assists, they were 2nd in the league in potential assists per game, meaning shots they missed that if they missed
the ball well, they just need to get a little more consistent at knocking down open shots.
Thomas gets the bucket.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
Now here's Howard. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And that's now 6 points for Howard. Jackson against Thomas. They set the screen. Sullinger, a screen on Jackson. Thomas dishes to Sullinger. The shot no good. And Philadelphia the other way now. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. And it's Wiggins missing.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
Unloads from 13. The shot by Johnson, no good.
You can see he just rushed that a little bit. Lost the focus, I think.
There's the bucket, good. And 12 points for Andrew Wiggins.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
The 76ers didn't lie to themselves about last season, Greg. They knew they weren't going to be in the playoffs. They spent a lot of time last season developing their young players.
Exactly. And listen, the 3rd straight year the Sixers would miss the playoffs. But as you said, Kevin, they knew what the season had in store. The key was, could they keep those young guys focused on growth and experience and not get caught up in the fact that they struggled to win games.
Mickey's checked in for Turner. Thomas against Jackson. Here's Sullinger. True on the 14-footer. Sullinger's got his first bucket of the night. The 76ers trail by 9.
And it's clear for the Sixers, the plan has been to continue to add good young players. Eventually, I think they'll be a force in the East. There's no guarantee, but they've got a plan and they're sticking to it.
Really left alone that time. And the Celtics lead by 11. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. It's tipped. It's stolen by Johnson. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Count the bucket.
I love the killer instinct he shows right there.
Sixers have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter.
A lot of teams that win a title often have a former #1 pick leading the way, or at least a top 3 NBA draft pick as their leader. So the 76ers are trying a shotgun approach to that, trying to get as many top 3 picks as they can, hoping one turns into the next superstar.
The Celtics making a switch here. Smart's checked in. Now here's Sullinger. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Mickey. Thomas gets a wide open look. And a miss there on the triple.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Boston leading by 10. And Okafor with the block. And here we go. Fast break. Wiggins has got it. Shoots from 14. That one a little long.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start varying some of those.
A good look from Bradley. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got 9 assists now tonight.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
Mickey grabs the board. Boston's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Smart, wide open, he fires. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jahlil Okafor. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Celtics. Kelly Olynyk comes in for Jared Sullinger. And Jake Crowder's subbed in for Bradley. Now here's Crowder. D right on him. Kicks it to Thomas. Feeds it to Smart. Now here's Crowder. Covered by Wiggins. They set the screen. Shot by Crowder. No good. Last season was difficult for Dwight Howard, to say the least, across the board. Worse since, in fact, his rookie year.
Yeah, he just wasn't able to stay healthy. I mean, looks dominant in spurts. Gets you thinking, okay, he's back. Then his body betrays him.
Boston leading by 12. And Thomas, here we go. Can't get it to go. Nice D from Oladipo.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Jackson with it. Now Thomas defending. Okafor kicks to Oladipo. The baseline J. The second chance effort. And there's the nice layup by Howard. Howard's got 8 points.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
Here's Mickey. Outside Thomas. Goes up on the high post. Here's Olynyk in the hoop for his third make from the field. He's 3 for 4 thus far in the contest.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
Boston making a switch here. Zeller's checked in. The 76ers trail by 12. Here's Jackson, and the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
And, Kevin, that's a pretty dangerous play right there. I mean, I don't like to see a player put an opponent in harm's way, as much as you just saw him do there. Glad they pinned a flagrant on him.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The officials were all over it. They weren't going to let him off the hook that time. Wiggins, right side. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Wiggins has got 4 points now in the quarter.
You start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
Thomas kicks to Smart. Thomas is screen on Oladipo. To the paint. Here's Crowder. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got his 4th assist in this one.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Oladipo misses.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now.
Zeller passes to Smart. Zeller setting the pick for Smart. They get the rebound. Olynyk. And there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum. And that's good stuff from him. Nice touch.
Smart dishes to Olynyk. Now here's Crowder. D right on him. Clock at 6. And Thomas, here we go. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And Isaiah Thomas, traded last season from Phoenix over to Boston, seemed to be a matter of fit and not production as to why they moved him.
Greg, you were talking about Isaiah Thomas. He had no love lost for the Suns. In their first meeting, he took them apart, Clark, on the floor. Remember that game? Stared him down as he was hitting shots, looked at that bench. Man, he had a big chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and you know, most guys that are a little undersized and have battled that return visit.
Here's Smart following the score by Reggie Jackson. And here's Smart. From deep, it's hauled in by the 76ers. Okafor's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
And one thing I liked in the first quarter was their aggressiveness to draw the contact, putting the defense on the defensive.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they need to continue to press that advantage. They've got to get back to that. Don't go away from that. It's been working so well for them. Stay with it.
Evan Turner, he's checked in for Boston. Here's Howard. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Howard's got 10. Boston leading by 5. Turner with it. He has 7. He feeds it to Olynyk. shot is off. Excellent D there from Okafor. Philadelphia has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Baseline try. Rebounded by Smart. Boston's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. And the shot is good. Crowder's got 19 points.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Now, here's Howard. 10 points for him. Jackson misses. Boston shooting 44% from the floor since we began the second quarter. Outside Turner, the feed to Olynyk. From 12 feet out. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Wiggins has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Jackson. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And so we conclude the first half. It's the Celtics up by 7.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal. Boston had no problems getting going. At one point, they had a 9-point lead fueled by some energy. And that'll wrap up our halftime show, the third quarter.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. And look at Jay Crowder. He's really been playing well.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
Kicking off the second half, here's Brett Brown's foul. Okafor out there with Howard. Then there's Victor Oladipo. Then it's Wiggins, and it's Jackson in at the 1 spot.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
Jackson against Thomas. On the wing, Johnson. Now here's Crowder, covered by Wiggins. Shoots off the screen. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Crowder's got 21 in the game.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
That's good. And 12 points for Dwight Howard.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
And not many people expected anyone from the Atlantic to do much last season. Boston was the surprise of the division as they ended up making the playoffs.
The 76ers trail by 7 and taken away by Johnson. Thomas kicks to Bradley. Nice ball movement by Boston. Now here's Thomas. 8 points for him. And Okafor with the block. Out of bounds. Celtics ball as Boston keeps possession. Five to shoot. Bradley drives in. Soft touch off the glass. Bradley's got 8.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
Jackson passes to Okafor. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. And it's 7 points for Jahlil Okafor.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
Here's Sullinger. Here's Bradley. They grab their own miss. That's good. Sullinger's got his second bucket of the game to go. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Wiggins from outside. Gets that one through the hole. Make him now 7 of 13 in this game. Celtics leading by 6. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Well, clearly the 76ers were the youngest team in the league last season, and with all the draft picks they've stockpiled, they'll be the youngest team for a while, it seems. But if the youth can grow and develop, they could also be a force in a few years, too.
Now here's Bradley. He's got 8. Good. 10 points for Isaiah Thomas.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Shot's good. 18 points for Reggie Jackson. To give you an idea of how young this 76er team is, at one point last season, Greg, Tim Duncan had more seasons played in the NBA than the entire active roster of the 76ers.
That's hard to fathom. I mean, we all know there's this youth movement going on in Philadelphia, but they still need some veterans in that locker room. Very hard for the young players to lead.
Okafor. Johnson with the defensive effort.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Passes to Howard. It's stolen by Sullinger. Thomas against Jackson. Here's Bradley. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. And it's a 12-point Celtic lead.
And the D is having problems stopping the mid-range jumper. They're not really closing out on them as much as they should be.
6 of their last 10 points have come by way of the two-pointer. He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
And it's sent back by Howard. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And Wiggins throws it down.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush. Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Boston leading by 10. Bradley drives in, and the shot's good from Crowder. Crowder's got 6 here in this quarter.
Nice, accurate pass right into the middle.
Here's Jackson. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
And it's the 76ers with the ball after the basket by Boston.
He's got to know not to take that shot when he's so closely defended.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Looking at the game for Crowder, 25 points, and he's been a good on-the-ball defender, too. He's got a pair of steals.
Yeah, he's just made a lot of very heads-up plays, and his defense really has been a difference maker.
And watching Jay Crowder, he can really beast you up, Greg, and take you out of your game. One of the most physical wings, I think, in the NBA.
And not the most flexible athlete, but he makes up for that with that strength that you mentioned. It allows him to control the pace. I mean, he's a bumper and a grinder and hitting a big 3 out of nowhere. So he's what we call a true gamer.
Wide open. Okafor grabs the miss. Okafor's got double-digit and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Boston.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition. Well, last season I thought the Celtics made some strong waves in the East. I mean, they kept fighting and fighting all season long, and they ended up in the playoffs because of that never-give-up attitude.
Now here's Turner. He's got 7, and the shot's good from Crowder.
This guy will really make you pay if you leave him enough room outside.
And Philadelphia calls time here. And for the Celtics, 28 of their 40 wins on the season came against the East. Not impressive, but it got the job done in a conference which could be had at times, obviously.
That's true, but what should be noted, Kevin, about the Celtics against the East is just how well they played against the